Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the CRL A11545C. This is a 100-foot roll of pile gasketing is what this is. And this video is to serve as visual evidence of the item, dimensional evidence of the item. So C.R. Lawrence offers a variety of different pile inserts, and how they differ, they're all pile like this, but how they differ is the width of the backer, the rigid backer, and then the projection. So let's take a dimension of what this is, and we'll talk about what you use it for. The width of the backer, this is supposed to be 0.35 inch. My caliper says it's 0.344. 0.344 is what my caliper says. The projection, they say this is supposed to be 0.45, and my caliper tells me reasonably 0.464. So yes, right there. Okay, that's the dimension of this. This is a 100-foot roll. Yes, you may need only 7 feet of it. It's the only way they sell it. Let's talk about what you'd use it for. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Well, anywhere that you have a need to install or insert gasketing into a T-slot, into aluminum channel, or something that you are... Generally, this material is going to come into play when you have an aluminum storefront door. And when someone calls and they need replacement pile gasketing for that, that's what I'm going to ask. Pull out the original, how wide is the backer and what's the projection? Then we go to our catalog, so to speak, and we find the closest that's available. And C.R. Lawrence offers lots of variations of backer width and then projection. Not every pile that's out in the world, with that combination of backer and projection is necessarily available. But with the several and many options available, we're generally able to get extremely close or close enough, or that's not really close, but I'll try it anyway. Very rarely someone cannot absolutely use a combination, but that's what we're looking for. An end photograph most likely, or the dimensions as I've just demonstrated. A gray pile. Now, why is pile used? Well, pile is used because of this. My fingers would represent an irregular surface, and pile does a great job at covering that. It's very thick. It's extremely dense in the sense that while it's not dense, I could crush that down to less than a 1/16 of an inch if I wanted to. Its natural state is such that it's very dense because of the countless number of fibers or filaments that exist inside of there. Also, it's known that insects don't like to land on pile, so it's effective in that regard as well. It does fatigue, it does fail. Water seems to do it to render it less effective over time, exposure to the elements. But luckily, you're able to generally relatively easily replace it. If you find that you can't pull or tug it out, it could be that that T-slot has been crimped in. The reason it's been crimped in is to keep it from sliding out of the T-slot. Now, we've also used this material exclusively in a holder. I've not really ever seen it installed any other way, not being installed in a holder. So be mindful. It's probably going to get slid into a piece of aluminum. And I've sold it to people for countless different reasons in terms of the door type. Aluminum storefront. Yeah, absolutely. Aluminum high-energy automatic doors. You'll see it in those applications. Residential applications where you have sliding doors in someone's home. But stepping back and looking at it perhaps from a more generic perspective, wherever there's pile inserted into something, this might be something that could work for you. So it's hard to be able to tell you exactly where you'll bump into this. It's obviously going to be door work, but it could also be weather stripping work as well. There are types of gasketing that employ some sort of holder, and they are generally mortised. The holders are mortised to the edge of the door, and that aluminum holder or extrusion has very small holes drilled and countersunk in the back side of it, so that a flathead screw, once you've mortised the edge of that door, let's assume it's wood, you can insert that channel down in there, tighten it down, and then insert your pile down in. And there are manufacturers who just simply make pile gasketing like that. And I like that type of gasketing because, well, it's elegant and it's easy to replace in the future when eventually you'll need to replace it because everything fatigues. You can also take that same concept, this pile with the holder, and there's a manufacturer who will supply longer screws and then a spring. So you mortise a deeper channel. You pre-drill the holes where you need to pre-drill them. You'll take that screw, run it through the aluminum holder, put the spring underneath, install all of that down into the door. You can understand that the more you tighten that screw, the further in you're going to draw that aluminum holder, and the more that you back it out, you'll bring it out. Once you've got the projection how you like it, you slide that pile in. And then what's nice over time is you can adjust the projection of that pile. A pair of doors, up at the top, we both know that's going to go from 1/8 of an inch to 0 down to 3/16, that kind of thing. So that pile is really nice when it's used in that application to be able to work with something long-term. It's maintenance. You know, the way that your door works today, 10 years from now, it won't work as nice. But the ability to maintain it, to swap out a piece of hardware when it's fatigued or failed, is pretty crucial, and that's what this pile is for. Let's switch to the screen view, and we'll take a closer look at this item and some supporting information. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Here is the item that we are indeed looking at. Let's take a look at the extended description. Energy saver, reduces heat and air conditioning loss around storefront doors. Absolutely. Here in Southwest Florida, I can stand with my hand on the outside of the door because it's an exterior door that swings out, and I can feel where the gasketing has failed, the cool air just seeping and escaping from the inside. Effectively seals without affecting door operation of door. Absolutely. Very low additional obstacle or load this material presents to a door closer. Extra width window pile is made of water repellent pile woven into a polypropylene backing strip, which easily is inserted into the pile channel of commercial doors. Again, it's used in doors, but sure. It's also used in windows as well, something we don't get into, but you might be looking for a pile and you might have a window. Again, energy efficient. Pile height, 0.450, backer width, 0.35. Let's look at some images that we have posted down below. I literally took some scissors and cut it a clean edge, and I'm going to have some stray filament there. That's what it looks like. The backer, the completed roll of pile. There is a product brochure that's here. Let's take a look at that. A little complicated at first to take a look at this, but nonetheless, you've got pile heights here. You've got backer widths here and here. A couple of different dimensions that are there. You have pile heights and backer width here. So we're dealing with the 11545. Which I do not see on this page. Let's sort that out. And we've got that corrected. By the time you're seeing this video, it will be corrected. We'll pull up that page here in just a moment. All right, here's that cut sheet. 100-foot roll is the C part and the part number, and the B is the 300-foot roll, 450 by 350. They also have finned weather stripping. That's known to be very effective at allowing the material to last longer, in fact. That pile will fatigue and fail, but that fin strip that's there does a really great job at directly helping repel water. but also forcing the pile to somewhat stand proud, or a little prouder than otherwise. Okay, now here's how you find other piles. So I would suggest that in this breadcrumb type of navigation, click piles. Then in the upper left hand corner, you'll be able to change the backer width. We're doing 0.350. Then you can change the pile projection. We're doing 450. And you can see we find a couple of results, the 100-foot roll and then the 300-foot roll. Okay. Now, there's a link below this video, as seen here, to the manufacturer's page. And from here you can pull up not only all of the C.R. Laurence products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to their product catalog. But all of their product catalogs are really here, all these subsections. If you stacked all these on top of each other, it would be several feet tall. The catalog where this gasketing is in the CRL 63A architectural hardware catalog. So if you were to fire up that document and you were to search for the word pile, Control F and then PILE, you're going to find likely scores of matches of pile. It's a 600-plus page document, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend searching for pile this way, but you will eventually get to it. You'll see lots of pile. Now, they also offer a zipper pile, and I can show you a zipper pile just so that you're aware of it. And the hallmark of the zipper pile is that the rigid backer is notched in an alternating fashion. There must not be any zipper pile in here in that catalog. But it looks like this, where it's notched. Where you would use that zipper pile is if you're installing it into a holder and you don't have access to the end. You have to actually try to piece that in by twisting it or contorting it to snap it into place, so to speak. So that's what the zipper pile is used for. So you might bump into zipper pile as well. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've made it this far into this video, you must be determined to see it through to the end, and we appreciate your hanging in there with us and watching this entire video. It means a lot. It takes a lot of work to create these videos in the sense that, it's time taken away from doing other things. However, the advantage for me personally of creating these videos is the fact that it does allow myself to either learn about something new, to reacquaint myself with something, or to reinforce what I believe that I already know. Any comments that you might leave down below would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. So the name C.R. Laurence is pretty synonymous with a tremendous offering of material. We deal primarily with their hardware as it pertains to aluminum storefront doors, pivots, push and pull bars, pile, obviously, but then a different category section would be their shower door enclosure hardware, their hinges, their wipes, their pull handles for that material. So that's a lot of what we deal with. But we also get into their Blumcraft material, what was once upon a time the only egress compliant push bars that existed. They're now not the only people who make them, but we've done I've done two very high profile projects with Blumcraft, a art museum in Houston and a World War II memorial in Milwaukee, or World War II museum. I forget what it was. Important. It was either a museum or a memorial. It's probably, if it's a memorial, it's a museum. If it's a museum, it probably has a memorial in it. And that was pretty cool. Not a great quantity of them, but nonetheless, they're very interesting. So if you look at Blumcraft, a really interesting piece of equipment. And you walk through a major metropolitan area like New York, you walk through New York, you'll see Blumcraft push bars on lots of stuff. So any questions on the A11545C, roll a pile, or any other C.R. Laurence product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.